Hello, America, and to our friends around the world. Welcome to the Common Sense Show. We are the show that is freeing America one enslaved mind at a time. Thank you so much for joining us. Well, we're hearing about how AI is replacing jobs, and it's just going to increase exponentially to where in 3 years, this is the prediction, 2030, that very few, well, professions will not be dramatically impacted. Some will disappear. Well, what about the people that work in AI? They must be safe. They're certainly going to guard themselves against, well, should we say loss of job, low benefits, no benefits, low pay? They're not going to allow that to happen to themselves. After all, they're creating the replacements. Surely they'll be like Congress with insider trading. They'll benefit from what they're doing. There should be a conflict of interest, I'm sure. Well, that's not quite the way that it's working out. In fact, I'm reminded of that song, Mama, don't let your babies grow up to be cowboys, but I would substitute the word cowboys for AI workers. Oh, wait till we come back from the break. The life of an AI worker is horrendous. We got some real-time data and we got some real-time stories that are going to make you rethink doing anything with AI other than maybe learning how to use it for yourself. In some cases, it can still be useful to you if you interact with it to help you make more money, be more efficient. Remember my warning yesterday, though. Don't use it passively, leads to cognitive decline and sometimes very serious cognitive decline. Hey, we are brought to you by Noble Gold. President Trump says, peace deal on Sunday. I hope you're right, Mr. President. And I hope you can tell Mr. Netanyahu to take a walking stick and walk off a you know what. We don't need Israel. Israel needs us. It should be our alliance is on our terms, not theirs. And I like to see the president sponsor legislation to have no foreign donations to any campaign. None. Zero. Nada. Until that day, Mr. President, I've got to criticize for the stance you are taking. Some people have turned on me because I'm not blindly loyal to you. But I don't believe this war is going to end. I don't care what the Iranians sign. Do you think their word is good for anything? Hell, the mullahs are, well, they're convicted to, in their own words, we want to see the end days. The Mahdi will return. Yeah, maybe that's true. It's their right to have their religion, but that doesn't exactly make for good peace treaties now, does it? So, what's going to happen? Continued degradation of the banking system, and they will bail you in a heartbeat. And Dodd-Frank 2010 lets them do it. What bail-in means is, let's say you have 100,000 in the bank, sake of argument. You wake up one day and it's now worth 30,000. If you get anything at all, your retirement's in the bank. And we've just taken it over. Sorry. It's all right. Check it out. Dodd-Frank 2010, UCC Section 8. So here's the deal. Why let them? Noble Gold can transfer your retirement accounts to your control and back it with precious metals, not the failing dollar. Sounds like a good deal. Also, too, you only want to keep operating capital in the bank, and Noble Gold has all your answers sitting there waiting for you. They don't have to pressure you because there's so much demand on what they're doing right now. I hope you can get through. 877-646-5347. 877-646-5347. And I'll just note this, I have been a customer of Noble Gold for over 9 years, been an advertiser for over 10. The best there is. Okay, let's get into the life of AI. And I've listened to some anonymous interviews with them. I've listened to some AI people who've gone out on the record, and I've made some categories here about what it's really like. First of all, one stat that I heard, and I don't know if it's going to stand up to overall scrutiny with all high-tech jobs, but certainly we have a trend that says this. There's a 1.5% success rate when an AI worker applies for an AI job. And often the interviewer is AI. So you better be careful what you say because you go, well, we got to put important guardrails on AI and protect the working population. But you're out. You're out. Um, what I'm looking at right now is they predict right now by 5 years from now, 80% of AI workers will be out of work. Take that with a grain of salt. That's okay. But let me share something with you that I've seen and I've been told. We're hiring you for $55 an hour. That's great. And I'll tell you why in just a minute. So you're working, 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 and then all of a sudden you're replaced. And you may come to find out you're replaced for someone that would work for $45 an hour. Now, you hear from the company, often it's like Mercor, and they'll get in touch with you and say, well, we have another project for you. We'll hire you at 45. Well, wait a minute. You paid me 55 before. Whoop, communication terminated. You're done. No negotiation allowed. Now, they may reinitiate contact in 3 days. This is happening in real time to people. And they'll say, okay, we got this job for you. It's the same job. And we'll pay you $35 an hour. They're programming AI to punish you for salary negotiation. Now, here are some other stories I've been told. I thought I was going to get paid a certain rate. And I worked 13 hours on a project that I agreed to pay $45, but they told me it would be an hour. It was 13 hours. I'm out of luck. Well, technically, I don't think anyone can step in and help that person because they signed a contract. But in some cases, I've heard where people are working and the contracts mean nothing. They're just doing what they want to do. They can find someone for $1 an hour cheaper, out the door you go. And remember, finding another job in AI is extremely difficult. Um, this is absolutely amazing here. If you demand at least 20 hours, they're going to pull the rug on you. You might be halfway through a project, but they bring in someone that's cheaper, that has less skills, but you've set the infrastructure that a lesser trained person can come in and fill, and they'll do it for cheap, and you're out on your ear. The average AI person right now, hold on, I hope you're sitting down. You may need your heart medication when I tell you this. This is what the data sets are saying. Now, I'm comfortable with this number because I'm hearing it enough in enough sources from enough studies. The average salary of an AI worker now coming into the profession, $23,000 per year. AI is dismantling full-time employment. Why? So they don't have to pay benefits. There's no unemployment insurance. And when there is, because they were lucky enough to get a full-time gig, okay, they're in trouble. Let me just share this with you. Survey of AI workers found that 85% are saying they can't meet their debt obligations. Maybe that's contributing to the credit card debt of $1.2 trillion. I'm sure it is. But listen to this. An estimated 25% of AI workers are on welfare. Huh? Are you kidding me? Do you remember that? Just go learn code. Remember that? I don't know what to do. Just learn code. Everything else will fall into place. Well, now it's the AI writing the code. This is what's really, really bad. Um, AI requires you to constantly retrain your skills for $23,000 a year. For the time being, it's making teaching look like a lucrative position, which it should be. Hasn't been. Okay, here is what's driving this. And I sum this up into two parts. Why is the profession going in this direction? Well, the most obvious and apparent reason is there. And then there's the hidden, subtle, but undeniable reason that's also there, but it's more lurking in the shadows. The number one reason people would think of would be for profit. For profit. You don't have a machine that demands vacation time, maternity leave, time and a half for overtime. There's none of that stuff. They'll work as long as they want. You just got to do regular maintenance. Okay. Now, number two, it's an ideology from Peter Thiel, Sam Altman, and the rest of these people who really have lost touch with humanity. I will remind you again that Peter Thiel, in an interview podcast, it's on YouTube, he was asked, should humanity have the right to survive? He couldn't answer the question. And I think this really bears out what I'm going to tell you here. Humans are now objects. We've been reduced to the level of machines, but we're an antiquated, inefficient, slow-moving machine that can be easily replaced. And this is what they're seeking to do. Now, right now, they need humans to manage the AI. But when AGI kicks in, hold on, see, these threats that you're hearing out there on AI with the titles, most of them are true. When AGI kicks in, sentience, they will manage the AI, and humans will be no longer needed. What? You heard me. This is why you're seeing headlines like it's all over by 2030, 5 years in countdown. This is what you're seeing repeatedly. And these stories are being created by AI people for the most part. Um, Now, they want to make humans obsolete. Well, we'll get into that aspect in a separate segment. And we'll also get into a separate segment the aspect that these people who are running AI right now, the purveyors, the profiteers, what they're really up to and what your future holds for you. But more importantly, is there anything that we can do about this abuse? Well, yes, there is. But it requires all of us who aren't involved in AI to get involved because AI is going to take from you what you have. And you say, why should I help someone in a different profession? They chose that profession. It's now outdated. Too bad for them. Sucks for them. Goodbye. Yeah, but if you don't stop them at that level, you won't get a second chance. And we're going to explain that in the next segment. I'm Dave Hodges. Make sure you check out our TV show, thecommonsenseshow.tv. And also, too, we would ask that you sign up for our free newsletter. We reproduce most of what we do right here and on other sites. Right there in the newsletter comes to you for free. All you got to do is go to thecommonsenseshow.com, click on the newsletter link, put in your contact information. It's free and it'll come to you as early as today and every day thereafter. Very convenient and you can't beat the price. We'll see you back here next time. You're not going to want to miss the next installment on AI in the next segment.